Right now, the day's biggest news stories from a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro. 1, 2, 3.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. By the way, as we speak, Mitt Romney is speaking on the impeachment decision he made, one of the very few Republicans that wanted witnesses to be put forth. So he's talking about that right now. We'll continue to cover that and give you the latest on it tomorrow morning. Of course, we were just talking about Kobe Bryant and this principal who said, not going to lie, seems to me that karma caught up with a rapist today, calling Kobe Bryant a rapist, saying he got karma. She is the principal of Camas High School in Camas, Washington. I think she should be fired. And, of course, we're taking some of your calls on that at 702-257-5396. Let's go to Daryl. He's been waiting patiently on hold. Daryl, what do you make of this?
Hey, Daryl.
How you doing? Yeah, I think it's outrageous to make those kinds of statements, and the media gives it so much weight, and it's publicized. The heiress of Disney also said, he's a rapist as well, and I think it's very unjust.
Yeah, we called her out as well. I thought that was extremely wrong and irresponsible.
Absolutely, it stirs up I think public controversy, because some people take things like they read like that literally, and they believe it. And I think I do have a criticism, though, of your portrayal of Laura Ingraham. I don't know her or anything else, but to label her as a racist because she failed to mention Kobe.
No, it's not just that. It's not just that, Daryl. Have a listen. Just listen to me here and then form your opinion. And if you still disagree with me, that's fine. I have no problem with that. A couple weeks after Nipsey Hussle died. Okay, and by the way, Nipsey Hussle did a ton of things for his community. He was a good man. She didn't even know who Nipsey Hussle was before he died. And then a few weeks after he dies, she goes on her national TV show and she attacks him based on his lyrics and just does an entire segment going after this guy. Never says thoughts and prayers for him and his family. She tells LeBron James to shut up and dribble. But yet when she has Ted Nugent on her show or Kurt Schilling on her show, she doesn't say shut up and throw a baseball. She doesn't say shut up and sing. What I'm trying to say is, it seems to me that there is a consistency with her going after African Americans. And now this Kobe Bryant thing where she's very sorry about, Rush Limbaugh, and she's tweeting about Rush. Not one tweet or one mention on her show about Kobe Bryant. I think, in my personal opinion, it is fair to call her a racist.
Well, I can't get into her head, but a lot of people can think what they want to think. I'd never heard Nipsey Hussle either, but after he died, I heard about all the things he did as well.
And the only person that was going after him was Laura Ingraham.
Yeah. Well, some people try to look at the negative situation because rap is kind of a negative form of,
Well, she doesn't do that with Donald Trump. When was the last,
No.
She doesn't seem to do that with white people as much as African Americans.
Well, it's not going to serve her audience and her ratings.
Well, sadly, Daryl, I agree with you, and that's what you said. It's about ratings, and Daryl, that's where we do agree, and I do appreciate the phone call. Thank you very much. So, as I teased it earlier, we needed to talk about the Iowa caucus. And, boy, there are some conspiracy theories going around, some of them involving Bernie Sanders. And it's crazy. What we do know is that Pete Buttigieg had a great showing, and it made the Democrats look really bad with this app that didn't work. They couldn't even get that right. They look like a bunch of schlobs. They really do. But there are some conspiracy theories going out there, and a guy who really has his more I guess you could say he's got his foot on this more than I do, and he knows what's going on as far as the caucuses go. That would be our producer, Jason Stein, who's in studio. Jason, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Brian. Good to be here.
Do I really need to say good morning to you? Just get on with the damn
This
story.
is the time of the show where JD goes to the bathroom, and
that's right. JD is not in studio.
I come in and talk. Anyway,
Well, hold on a second. I just wanted to say this. We are broadcasting live on YouTube, and every single time you do show up in studio, we have our guy has to adjust the cameras and lower them to your height level. That's all I need.
You're like Donald Trump making fun of Michael Bloomberg's for his height.
Well, now you can say that there's a candy bar and porn in my head.
No, it was a putter.
What was it?
A putter. A cheeseburger. This is Michael Bloomberg's advisor.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Said that in Donald Trump's head exists a putter, a cheeseburger, a porn video, and someone else's credit card.
It's a really good comeback. So what do you think would be in my head?
In your head?
Yeah.
Candy, lemon heads, and Mike and Ike's, porn, of course, porn, and probably some kind of sports book or sports gaming app.
That's fair.
Gambling app. Yeah.
You didn't. That's fair.
Yeah. That's
you didn't say Ocasio-Cortez. You should have put her in there.
What's
that's what you should have done.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, all right.
Here we go. All right.
Let's move on.
We're talking about Iowa. We talk about this every day. And
Let's
Brian
talk about the caucus.
do we want to talk about Iowa? Some people are into it. Some people. I happen to find it very fascinating. Let's start with the partial results that have been released after the debacle that was a Tuesday night, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting the results partially, about 70%, I believe, at last check. Buttigieg out in first. He's basically declared victory before the results even came in. Now he's declaring victory again as he's off to New Hampshire. Bernie Sanders in second, which we knew he was going to do well. About 25% for Sanders. Warren, 18%. Biden, 15.4%. And then Amy Klobuchar not far behind him. But, Biden kind of the big loser in all this. Fourth place is really no place.
Are you surprised at that? Because I'm not.
I'm really not surprised at it. But, again, this is the guy that's supposed to be the front runner. And fourth place is pretty bad, and we'll see if he can rebound. But he even today, Biden called it a quote gut punch in Iowa. So he's admitting it. Buttigieg, I think, is obviously the big winner, but
it was just a gaffe.
It's
malarkey.
It is. It's the no malarkey. Do they still do the no malarkey bus tour? I haven't seen that bus.
I'm just waiting for him to say there's a lot of malarkey voters out there in Iowa.
Well, maybe he shouldn't be poking people in the chest and saying vote for someone else. Then maybe he'd have more than 15% of the vote.
That's true.
But anyway, if these numbers hold, obviously, I think Bernie and Pete will probably be the big winners. But Pete, the thing, some people are bringing up these conspiracy theories, like you said, and one of them came from Donald Trump Jr. That it's not so much a conspiracy theory as maybe sour grapes. He's saying that because all these senators like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and all these guys had to go back to Washington for the quote-unquote sham impeachment trial, it let people like Buttigieg get more campaign time in Iowa, which therefore gave him inflated numbers. Had Bernie been able to spend his full time in Iowa, then Bernie would have won, and so guys, he's tying it back to impeachment, right? But then the conspiracy theories about the results and why there weren't any results the other night, that's focused around this app. And for all the evidence that we can gather, it was a crappy app. It was a crappy app. It was a technological error. And they're not going to use it in Nevada, this app. But that hasn't stopped people from the right. These are there's probably the same people that thought there was some kind of child pedophile ring being run out of a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C., run by Hillary Clinton. And remember that guy went in there with the gun. These are the same people who are coming up with these conspiracy theories.
Maybe they're the same type of people that call Kobe Bryant a rapist.
Right.
Yeah.
One of them is Russia, of course. Some people are saying it's Russia. Russia's meddling in the.
Are people really saying that?
Yeah, people are saying that Russia's because of what they did in 2016 that they somehow have meddled with this app.
You think Vladimir Putin meddled with the app in the Iowa caucus? I think Vladimir Putin probably
make sure that Pete Buttigieg would win.
Listen, Vladimir Putin has better things to do, like planning to execute and murder people in his own country. Go ahead.
All right. Well, okay. So that the Russia thing is out there, but then another conspiracy theory that's out there is the app itself. The app is a product of a company called Shadow. In July, the campaign of Pete Buttigieg paid Shadow $43,000 for software rights and subscriptions. So now they're saying that somehow Pete Buttigieg and the Democratic establishment are in cahoots with this Shadow app to deny Bernie Sanders the win in Iowa. And one of the people that are actually pushing this theory on the left is Representative Ilhan Omar, who, of course, supports Bernie Sanders. So that's where we're at with Iowa. Anyway, they're on to New Hampshire now, and hopefully there won't be any issues there.
Well, look, obviously there's two things a couple things, key things that I look at here. You could tell me if you agree or not. Number one, the Democrats screwed up once again with the app. It makes them look bad. Okay, so that's clearly number one. Number two,
what taints the whole nomination process.
Yeah, that's number one. Yeah, okay, they effed up. Number two, this is bad for Joe Biden. Okay, his showing in this, he loses momentum. Who gains momentum? Well, definitely Pete Buttigieg.
Definitely.
If you told me that Amy Klobuchar would be a couple percentage points behind Joe Biden in the Iowa caucus, I would have said you were crazy.
Yeah.
And here we are. Here we are. And not to bring up Michael Avenatti again, but I will. Michael Avenatti came on our show every week, and I usually agreed with everything he said on this show. But the one thing I disagree with, he said Joe Biden has the best chance to beat Donald Trump.
Right.
I pulled back with him on that. I disagreed with him. He can't even win the Iowa caucus. He's fourth. It's not like it was neck and neck with Buttigieg. And I've said since day one, when I saw Pete Buttigieg on that stage in the first debate. I said, I like this man. I am going to support Pete Buttigieg. And now here he is winning the Iowa caucuses, and I'm not alone, folks. I am not alone. Is America ready to vote in a gay president? I don't know. Sadly, there are a lot of bigots out there and a lot of dumb people out there that will not vote for somebody just because of their homosexuality.
Okay, I think that Buttigieg can absolutely get the Democratic nomination despite being gay. That's not going to be an issue for people, except for that one woman that we played yesterday who was shocked to find out that he actually was married to a man.
By the way, how dumb are you if you don't know he's gay? Like, well, how ill-informed are you?
For the most part,
jeez.
For the most part, Democratic voters are not going to have an issue. I mean, Barack, for me, everything I knew about politics got turned on its head when Barack Hussein Obama got elected. Not only got the nomination, but then won the whole damn thing. So I don't know, Brian. I don't know about the general primary. I think Buttigieg can absolutely win it, and this momentum may carry him. We'll see. Every state's different. Iowa's different than some people that have won Iowa are you'd be shocked. I mean, Rick Santorum, I think, won Iowa, or at least came in second place a few years back. I mean,
Rick Santorum.
Michelle Bachmann, remember her? I think she did very well in Iowa. So it doesn't really mean that much, but it does mean a lot in terms of perception and momentum. So, but we'll see.
So Mitt Romney is going to break with the Republican Party, and this is not a surprise. This is just breaking news, but vote to convict Donald Trump on abuse of power.
Wow.
So this is kind of a big deal. We knew that Mitt Romney, we knew that he wanted witnesses, but we didn't know he was going to vote to convict.
No, we didn't. It's not going to change anything, I don't think. Trump could be acquitted as early as today. But wow, what a move by Mitt Romney. CPAC, we talked about this the other day, the conservative group that puts on that show every year in Washington, D.C., CPAC, they disinvited Romney. He's not allowed to come. If you don't fall in line with President Trump and where the Republican Party is.
You sound like Donald Trump's wife. Isn't that what she tells him every night before they... I'm sorry, that was a horrible joke. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm now thinking about Melania naked from that photo shoot.
You don't have to think about it. You could just go online and look at it.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
But conservatives...
Anyway, that's
Billy
interesting
Graham,
about Romney.
Billy Graham won't talk about that, though.
Yeah.
The fact that the first lady's naked all over the web.
Franklin Graham.
I'm sorry, what did I say? Billy Graham?
Yeah,
Franklin Graham.
That's
I'm sorry.
the son, Franklin Graham.
Yeah, Franklin Graham. Yeah, you won't hear about that.
Franklin Graham, who was offended by the Super Bowl performance, so it was too much.
Yeah, the evangelical right, they're going to complain about J-Lo and Shakira shaking their ass. But Donald Trump banging a porn star unprotected a couple months after Melania has a child. You won't hear them speaking out about that, though, huh? You won't hear them talking about Donald Trump's grab him by the P word. No, you won't hear about that from the evangelical rights like the Laura Ingrams of the world. Shut up and dribble. Shut up and dribble.
All right. Shut up. There's the political report for the day.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Good morning to you, by the way. By the way, it's lunchtime. Don't ever say good morning to me again when it's after 11 a.m. Because then I think it's like 9 a.m. and we have 3 more hours of radio to do. But anyway, when we come back, thank you, Jason, for that report. When we come back, we're going to be talking about this protest that took place on Fremont Street. We used to have this guy on our show, Minister Stretch Sanders. They protested the homeless ordinance, the new homeless ordinance where, if you're seen on the streets in certain areas downtown, you could be fined and you could go to jail for up to 6 months. Well, we're learning something very troubling about the protesters, and we're learning it from the top. Mayor Carolyn Goodman will explain what she had to say about these protesters coming up next. You're listening to the Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDON.